from the point where Hal takes the name Titan but misspells it as Titan, it is written out that way entirely,
Yep.
which I at no point realized.
I noticed that in the captions.
Mhm.
I was like, I wonder if they actually do it in the captions. I turned the captions on. I was like, yep, they misspell it there too.
I just
That's
assumed
hilarious.
it was a one and done joke, but they do it the rest of the way. That's amazing.
Yep.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Men of Steel podcast. I'm Case Aiken, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Jmike Folsom.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back indeed, because can you believe it's been 15 years since today's episode topic came out?
You didn't have to say it like that, though, but you know. Like
15 years since the movie that we're talking about today came out, because today we are talking about Megamind. And to have that conversation, we are joined once again by returning champion of maximum number of appearances on the show, despite a 2-year hiatus, JD Martin.
I'm back, baby. You can't get rid of me that easily.
JD, it has been too long. We are so happy to have you back on, and you have been trying to get us to do this episode for a while. And frankly, here's the reason why it hasn't happened yet. I hadn't seen it.
Which is it's so crazy,
It's crazy.
especially like you're a father now. It's the perfect time for you to watch it.
I know, and it's like super recommended on Netflix, which is like kind of weird because like the Netflix kids demo is like Peppa Pig and like My Little Pony, and then like Megamind, which is like not for kids, but it is like slightly more mature as a subject matter than the
It's not. It's
aforementioned.
like it's not really for 5-year-olds. It's for like 10-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not a knock on this movie because spoiler alert, this movie rules.
Yeah, I really like this movie. I'm gonna say that. I have a couple of notes because this is a this is a DreamWorks like animation movie. It has a couple of the like hallmarks of those like kind of movies. But you know what? Aside from like too many needle drops, like there aren't like giant complaints that I have about this movie. And like
I did forget about all the needle drops in this movie.
there are so many needle drops in this movie. And it's not a big deal. I don't hate this movie. I like this movie a lot. It's just I was like, oh, there's a lot of needle drops. But yeah, like I mean, so again, I hadn't seen this movie. Jmike, how about you? Had you seen this movie before?
Yeah, I saw this movie many, many years ago. And I was like, oh, wow, this is a good refresher. I had forgotten how much fun there was in this movie. And I was like, oh, wow, this is pretty cool. This is great. We should watch it more often. You want me to like explain it now, don't you?
We'll
you want
get
me to do the
around
thing?
back to that. We're going to do that thing, but we're
You
going
want me
to
to do
come
the
around.
thing? It's okay.
Yeah, no. JD,
So
how
you
about
want to do the
you?
thing, Case? I'll do the thing, Case.
No, we'll have to like do the thing in a minute. But in the meantime, JD, how about you? What was your experience of this movie?
Oh, so I think the memory I have of watching it in its entirety for the first time, because it's one of those movies where you can definitely catch it on TV and you'll catch it like, probably about 20 minutes in, you'll see part of it or whatever. But my distinct memory of watching it for the first time was, I was like, I took like a week off of work to house sit for I think my grandmother, and my back, I don't know what happened, but my back was in so much pain, and I like slept on a heating pad, or I at times I would just like, I would put a pillow on the floor, put the heating pad on the floor, and just lay there, and I would just put whatever I could on. And I remember I watched this and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs for the first time, like in the same day. and this is probably only like five years or so ago, but I remember watching and going, this is a lot better than I thought it would be. Like for like a superhero DreamWorks movie with Will Ferrell and Tina Fey and Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt, mind you.
Yeah. That was the one that made my wife like turn over while I was watching it in bed, and she was like, "Is that Brad
She's
Pitt?"
like, "Is that?" And he has the most memeified line in the entire movie. Like, "I love you, Metro Man," and "I love you too, random citizen."
Meanwhile, the line that I wrote down and we have to say is when Jonah Hill as Hal goes, "Chicks don't like bouncy houses, they like clowns."
And I'm sitting over here going like, "Gonna write that down for the next date." Gotcha.
Yeah. So Jmike alluded to this, and we're trying to do this thing on a more regular basis, which is Jmike, for the listeners at home who have not seen the movie Megamind, what is the movie Megamind?
How do I explain this properly? So I want to say take like the goofiest version of Superman you can and like twist it around. But basically, does he even have like a real name? I don't think he has a real name. They just call it Megamind. Megamind comes from this dying planet of, I forgot the name of it, but basically it's Krypton. Lands on Earth, but he lands in a prison yard while his arch nemesis lands in like the Wayne family household. They grow up in opposite ends of the spectrum. Megamind gets taught by prison inmates, whatever, and he learns the ropes of evil from them. And Metro Man grows up to be Superman. Megamind grows up to be a very, very bad Lex Luthor. Well, not in bad, like he's evil, just like he's like the worst, the absolute worst supervillain ever. He loses at everything, but he has fun while he's doing it. And so, like one day, he comes up with an invention / ne'er-do-well plan where he actually, quote unquote, kills Metro Man, and then he gets his wish of being like the #1 villain. And then he figures out that without Metro Man, life kind of sucks because he doesn't have anything else to do. So he tries to, create his own arch nemesis, which turns out to be very bad because he picked like the absolute worst person that you could ever have to be a hero in Jonah Hill's character, and it just goes all downhill from there. But in the end, he learns that it's by the power of friend. I'm kidding. By the power of friendship. But it's not what you do. It's like it's what you do with what you're given that makes you a hero in the end.
Yeah. So the one thing I just want to hit home is that by the end of the movie, he has Megamind has reformed and taken on the role of the hero of the story at this point. Just wanted to make that part clear.
Saves the day, saves the city, gets the girl, does all the things.
Yes, does all the things. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously, this is a good thing for us to discuss because Metro Man is just Superman. Like, he's an alien from another world. Like, he crash lands at, like, the Wayne Manor instead of, like, a Kent Farm situation. But he is a just dead-on Superman analog, right down to the heat vision and the implied weakness to copper.
God. Which I'm assuming we're going to into spoilers on a 15-year-old movie that most people have seen.
Oh yeah, like at this point now, you should consider we have gone as far as we can go without going deep into spoiler territory. We're going to go into spoiler territory now.
Yeah. So it turns out that he's not copper is not his weakness. He's just like, I made that up on the spot.
Yep. Because he didn't actually die.
Oh my god.
I gotta say the way they reveal that copper isn't his weakness by like Megamind trying to trap Titan in like the ball made of copper, and he's like, yes, I finally figured it. Oh crap, he's punching through it. Wait, how does that work? What's going on here? And like that, very, very nice visual way to have that reveal happen.
Yeah, and Titan at that point says, "Stop comparing me to Metro Man," which, sure, his powers are derived from Metro Man, but it is possible that they're not the same as Metro Man's, like 100%. It could be a Con-El like Superboy situation with slightly different powers. And as a result, like, yeah, sure, he might not have the same weakness. He's not actually from that planet after all. But it does put the seed in your head so that when we go to the next scene and they like go to Metro Man's base, where we find out that he's actually been alive and is now Music Man.
He didn't want to change the logo.
keep the logo going. You're like, what the heck?
God, he was so bad. He was so bad.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was pretty great. I think probably like just because like I'm a sappy human being. I think one of my favorite parts of this movie is the slow burn romance between Megamind and Roxanne.
I really like that. I want to talk about Roxanne for a minute because I thought she was great as a Lois Lane type character.
Yes, yeah, I like having her do like I like she's a fun newscaster. She has like a great presence. She's got the Karen haircut, but makes it work. Tina Fey does a great job in the role.
Tina Fey honestly would be a good casting choice for a Lois Lane, frankly. Like if you were doing an SNL cast for Superman, like
I was about to say
Tina Fey, yeah.
Like I'm imagining now, like I feel like mid 2000s Tina Fey on SNL would have done a great do a Superman sketch and have Tina Fey as Lois.
That would actually work pretty good.
Yeah, like I had never actually fan casted her that way, but it makes a lot of sense.
It works.
Yeah, no, like I'm now remembering. Do y'all remember the movie she and Paul Rudd did, Admission?
No, I never saw that one.
I don't.
It's one of those like nice little like small little like rom-coms about like I think she plays like a college admissions official, and Paul Rudd is this guy who I think he fosters kids, and he's trying to get
okay. I remember the poster now that I see
he's like
this.
A teacher. Yeah, I think he's a teacher, and like he's trying to get her to like admit like one of his like brighter students into like a college program, but he comes from poverty and all, and so like there's like a barrier there, and then there's of course the whole plot of the two of them are going to fall in love with each other because that's how this movie works.
Might be worth
what I'm saying is I like rom-coms and Megamind provided me a little rom-com in this movie.
It does. I really enjoy the Bernard role that he plays in this whole thing.
I also love Will Ferrell as Megamind, like saying the name Bernard the same way that the real Bernard says it. He's like, Bernard.
Yeah.
It's like trying to figure out like, does this feel right? Yeah, sure. We'll go. Yeah, sure. It feels right in the mouth.
Yeah. So one of the notes I have in general is the cast is great in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like Tina Fey as Roxanne Ritchie is amazing, but like Will Ferrell as Megamind is shockingly good. Like I like Will Ferrell a lot, but like the choice to mispronounce things and like put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable is fantastic.
Yeah, it's like yes,
mignon.
I kind of want to like I feel like that is also a direct link to his childhood, in that he grew up in a prison and who does the government arrest all the time? Poor people who don't have don't have great education. So it's like it feeds back into the fact that he was raised in a system that is broken, and
yes,
it makes sense that he just becomes a villain, because it's like he grew up around people who went against the system, and now he himself is going up against the system.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a very extreme scenario. Like the character is literally brought up inside a prison, Bane style, if you will.
Yeah.
For comics fans, but where like the flashcards that they teach him are like burglar bad, cop good, or pardon me, burglar good, cop bad, and things like that. So like but yes, I agree that like the point that like the system is like he was set up to fail from the beginning, and the fact that he becomes the hero by the very end is just such blind luck, or not blind luck. Like it's his effort, but him like capitalizing on the moment.
Yeah.
After being in such a bad situation for so much of his life. You know, we open the movie with him in prison yet again.
Yeah.
Or rather, we open the movie in media res with him falling to his death.
Yeah.
But we flash back after the the montage of his growing up to him in prison yet again.
Yes, with Warden played by J.K. Simmons.
Yes. Amazing cast.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Just like you like the actors that pop up. I need to look up who played like the actual Bernard, because we only get
that was Ben Stiller.
It's Ben Stiller.
It's Ben Stiller.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. I mean, he was a producer on this, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was like, that's Ben Stiller.
I love Ben Stiller. He's so fun. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and also like going through the cast, I also want to bring up the music by Hans Zimmer and Lorne Balfe. Go ahead.
Yes, but let's finish up cast talk before we move on to music, because the music is great, but that feeds into a thing I want to talk about after that. Yeah. So I will say this: Jonah Hill as Hal. I love so many parts of this because he is kind of like the most fucked up, perverted fucked up, perverted, like twisted version of a Jimmy Olsen that you could imagine. Mm-hmm. Like he's the cameraman, he's a ginger, he's all set up to be like the other best friend after the girlfriend, and then his fetishization of Roxanne Ritchie and just his being a terrible person make the situation when he gets superpowers so much worse. He's
absolutely awful, because he is like before he gets superpowers, when he's just regular Hal, like he is kind of the worst tropes of like the quote of the nice guy, and it reminds me of, I'm trying to remember what like I forget what character I'm thinking of now, but like whenever like he gets the powers that like it basically just, or it's like in Captain America the First Avenger when Erskine talks about like when you get the serum, like good becomes great, bad becomes worse, and that's what happens with Hal, is that he gets that taste of the power, and he just goes downhill, and
yeah, I mean he becomes a full-on supervillain by the end.
Yep.
Yeah, he goes full Jonah downhill. I've been hanging around my boss too much, who makes dad jokes.
The only one that is a little weird is Brad Pitt as Metro Man for me.
What do you mean, Case?
I guess what I'm getting at is that Brad Pitt is not a voice actor, and like his voice is very recognizable, but I don't think of him as Superman when I hear his voice.
But also he does it like you can tell it's Brad Pitt when you hear him, but it more so sounds like this is Brad Pitt putting on a voice. Like this is not him just doing his normal like, yeah, I'm cool. Like I'm cool Brad Pitt. I play Rusty Ryan in the Oceans movies. This is like I'm Brad Pitt putting on a voice. Like
yeah, no, he's doing a job. Like I'm not saying he's not acting, but it's just that Brad Pitt is just not the character, or like not the actor I would choose to play the part. God, what I would give for Brian Blessed to be in this role.
Why do I recognize that name?
He did a pretty good job.
Brian Blessed is a voice actor. He is still working because he's currently on Peppa Pig as Grampy Rabbit, but he is best known for, well,
I do know him.
The Blackadder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was on Flash Gordon. He was the voice actor for Clayton and Tarzan. Just big booming voice.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and he was in Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah, you're right. He was Boss Nass. So big booming voice would just be kind of fun for Metro Man. But honestly, more like a John Hamm or something like that would be like more in the speed of I feel like this character. I don't know. It's just like the Brad Pittness is distracting to me, and Brad Pitt doesn't read as Superman, even though he's like in incredible shape and like, you know, casting wise would make sense to cast in the part if this was live action.
Yeah, that's like a very like mid 90s casting choice of like, let's get Brad Pitt to play Superman.
Yes, yeah, 100%. Like,
it's like he was good in Interview with the Vampire, and like let's make him Superman.
Legends of the Falls, Brad Pitt, of course he can be Superman.
Yeah.
A river runs through it, Brad Pitt.
Deep cuts.
Thelma and Louise, Brad Pitt. Yeah. Well, I will say, like, quick side note: if any actor from the '90s was supposed to play Superman in the '90s, it was Brendan Fraser.
Yes,
I can see that.
Yeah.
With either Parker Posey or Courtney Cox as his Lois Lane.
Ooh, yeah. Either one would be great.
I'd never thought of Parker Posey as Lois Lane until, oh gosh, who was it? Below Freezing. I can't remember. Oh my gosh.
CJ and Micah, or one of their guests?
Yes, CJ. Yeah, yes. I don't know. I was like, I am blanking on his name right now. CJ brought it up when I was on Below Freezing years ago. Like, because I was like, yeah, like this and that, and he's like, Parker Posey, and I'm like, shit, no, you're right. Parker Posey would have been perfect.
Yep. Okay, so you wanted to talk about music, and
yes, I want to talk about music.
And I want to pull that pin because I agree. I think the music is really good in this.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer, he at this point is just like the DreamWorks go-to, because he's done all the Madagascar movies. He does the Boss Baby movies because why not? So he's like their go-to guy. But it's him and Lorne Balfe, who's, you know, been doing great work on his in his own right, like in the past few years, like doing Mission Impossible Fallout and Black Widow and a lot of good stuff. So I love like the fairly like simple classic superhero movie score for this. And then there are also the needle drops, in which I forgot how many there were in this movie.
Right, there's so goddamn many needle drops in this movie.
Like we get Highway to Hell, we get Welcome to the Jungle. We close out the movie with Bad, and there are more that I'm not thinking of.
Let's see if Wikipedia has the soundtrack info. It's its own page. It's its own page.
It's its own page. Well, I have to assume that there's the score listing, and then there's also the soundtrack.
So I'm just looking at the things that are needle drops on the soundtrack, and there's Bad to the Bone.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A Little Less Conversation.
Oh my god, yeah.
Lovin' You.
More than once.
Back in Black, Highway to Hell, Crazy Train. Oh yeah, and the Crazy Train is like weirdly short, but then David Cross like finishes it, which is effectively used. Welcome to the Jungle, Bad. Come As You Are by Nirvana is also oh, never mind. It's just the line that he references. Sorry. Yeah, so quite a few is what we're getting at here.
Yeah, oh gosh,
and they're not individually bad. It's just that it's the situation of like, this is that era of animated comedy just being overloaded with these kinds of needle drops on purpose.
Yeah. And like, this is also like, we're also talking about DreamWorks here. DreamWorks really started this with Shrek. Like, Shrek had tons of needle drops, whether it's All-Star or I know Bad Reputation's in that one. The monkey song that Smash Mouth covers at the end. I'm a Believer. Like, yeah, like DreamWorks started the train of animated movies that can work for all ages, but are mostly directed at 10-year-olds and have and are going to have at minimum 5 needle drops throughout the movie.
Yeah, and characters singing along to it at various points, which brings up the fact that we forgot to talk about Minion.
Oh my god, Minion is so fun. Minion,
he's so fun. He's a great character in this. Certainly like a wonderful like sidekick to Megamind throughout this whole thing.
He's kind of like, I would almost call him like a combination of like Crypto and Otis from 78 Superman.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a combination of the two.
Yeah, like it's the pet sent by the parents, but at the same time, it's this bumbling sidekick who apparently is fairly successful a lot of the times, just is not,
Recognized for it.
able to, neither recognized for it and not able to stick the landing ever.
Yeah, no, and also trying to keep Megamind on the track of like, you're a villain. You're supposed to be like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Megamind's like, yeah, but what if I wasn't? What if I got to fall in love with what if I got the girl? What if I don't do that forever? And I just got to be normal.
He was also the one that told him not to go with Titan too. He saw that coming a mile away.
Oh yeah. He's just like, are you sure about this? And he's like, yeah, no, it's going to be totally fine. And then turns into like Liberace if he was voiced by Marlon Brando.
Right.
I love Space Dad so much.
The Space Dad sequence is fantastic in this. Yeah. And Space Stepmom. Like, just...
It's just Minion just being like, yeah, I'm throwing on a wig and an apron, and I am now Space Stepmom.
Yeah, this movie has a really good like joke per page rate to it.
Oh yeah,
it's written like a sitcom in that way. Like it makes me think of when I've listened to the Simpson writers like talk about like the required number of jokes per page. I'm like, yeah, no, that it's very dense in that regard.
Every time The Simpsons gets referenced, I always think of the joke in Limit of Troy when it's like, Rocky V, that was the fifth one.
But the thing I wanted to pivot from Rocky V, yes, the thing I wanted to pivot from off the music though is the fight choreography is shockingly good in this.
Yeah,
so good. It's like and actually, once again, DreamWorks here, because I have argued forever. I have not seen the fourth movie, but the Kung Fu Panda trilogy has some of the best fight choreography in film history. Not just animation, film history. The Kung Fu Panda trilogy gets shit done. And Megamind, while not on that level, is far better than it should be.
No, I had to watch Kung Fu Panda.
well, yeah, and it makes sense that the franchise that's like based on doing kung fu, a parody of kung fu movies, is going to have the better fight choreography. But this is doing some really good things, and like the camera work, just like while like Metro Man is like flying around, I'm like, oh, that's really complicated camera work that is very difficult to do if you're trying to do a real person. If this was they get away with it because it's animated, doing very complicated camera moves, especially around the flying, and that is really effective.
Yes, absolutely. I would say probably the only live action movie to rival its like fight choreography since is probably James Gunn's Superman. Like James Gunn like really nailed it in terms of fight choreography in the air, and which is one of the many reasons I love that movie. But yeah, Megamind just absolutely nails it, and also the fact that I've gotten really tired of, as much as I love the MCU, like I do get kind of tired, or I did get tired of like the like impossible camera moves that felt very removed from the fight, and we're just like, we're following along, but it doesn't, I don't feel the impact there. And yet in an animated movie that is meant for kids, that has no blood in it whatsoever, and like no, like flying teeth or broken bones or anything like that, I feel the impact of the choreography in this movie.
Yeah. Like I said, the fight choreography is really good. The like, as you were saying, the hits really work. I really like the use of the heat vision in this. Like, I thought that it was used very effectively as a very scary weapon. Like Titan is terrifying when he uses it on anything, especially like the dummy when he's like training how to fight, and that you get the first like vibe that like, oh, he might be kind of fucked up in the head.
He might be a little crazy.
Yeah, he's like, he might be a little unhinged. And then like carving Titanville misspelled into the city is just like, that is honestly, that's some Homelander shit.
Oh yeah,
that's some Homelander shit right there. It's like, hey kids, you like Homelander? No, you're not getting Homelander. You're too young, but you're gonna get Homelander for kids. That was my only thought in this movie. I was like, that's like, Titan is basically Homelander for kids.
Homelander before Homelander.
Yeah, so why don't we talk about the plot of this movie? So, and not like what are the beats that happen, because Jmike, you covered that very well. But I mean, like the actual like the story structure. Like, does this work for you guys? Like the idea of the Superman character quitting.
Well, he didn't quit, Case. Remember, he didn't quit. He
faking
read
his death.
A bunch of self-help books, and he was like, "Everyone here has a choice to be what they want to be, and I never got that choice." So now I'm just going to, do my own thing and become Music Man. And be
right. Okay.
Very bad.
Faking his own death, and then
he quit.
Then going off and doing his own thing, and then letting the villain run wild, and then we get this whole romance story. Like, are these effective beats? I think this is a very like tight story in terms of like setting up a villain who has to like face the fact that he's now forced to become the hero because he creates an even worse villain.
Maybe that was part of his plan the entire time.
No.
Case, maybe that was part of Metro Man's plan the entire time. He's
not that smart, Jmike. He's not that smart. Metro Man is not that smart.
We don't know that he's not.
No, he was.
We all know that he isn't. I mean, he could be. He could be. He just never given this screen time,
He tried to become Music Man, Jmike.
Don't we all deep inside?
There is no justice for Music Man in this world.
In grade school, in grade shul.
Shul.
I like, out of all of the mispronunciations of words, shul is my favorite.
That and Titan.
Because like like Metro City or Metrocity, like Metrocity like comes up over and over again, which also like a nice little touch of like how Megamind views the city and how he views like the people of this city and how they feel about him as like associating their city with like an atrocity. It's like this like everything you are is an atrocity against me. I love that, but just. Shul is such a stupid little like throwaway gag, and it makes the whole movie for me.
Yeah. Well, what was the one he did when he tried to say hello, but he said it in a weird way? I remember noting that it was not like a mispronunciation of the right letters. It was like Olo or something like that.
I feel like he was trying to Olo. Yeah. That was it. Olo. Like Olo. Every time. Because like I think the first time he says it is when he when Roxanne finds the secret lair and he answers the phone from inside.
Right, yeah. And as Bernard. Yeah.
Olo, and he's like, no, it's hello. I also love Minion having a better grasp on the English language than Megamind does.
Also fantastic. So like
that's why we love Minion.
I loved Minions. I loved the whole opening act of this, like the botched kidnapping that turns out to go right, but only goes right because Metro Man like gives up. I thought that's like a perfect setup for this movie. Like you get through what is an escape and an evil plan in extremely efficient time. And then you go straight into this whole like wonderful detail of Roxanne being able to predict everything that Megamind is going to do to her, which is so fun. Where she's like, alligators.
I thought about it on the way here. Or actually, like, I think my favorite detail of that was like when she first gets unbagged and she's like, can you just wash like the bag, like the blindfold, please? It doesn't smell good.
Right. Why is she not screaming?
Yeah, why is she not screaming? Because I know how this goes, Megamind.
Don't panic, Roxanne. I'm not panicking.
It's like, oh, the spiders knew. Yes. Arachnus deficus.
Yes, the spider.
The spider. blowing it back in his face. Like you're you are so right on the money about the joke per page. Like it hits you at every moment.
Every minute there's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is such a tight script that, I mean, if we wanted to, like, you could like throw this in like a writing class, and it's like look at, like, yes, this movie is not like an insane masterpiece, but it's got an incredibly tight script that like if you wanted to learn writing, like this works. This is like a great blueprint for like script writing.
Yeah. Because it's just remarkable, and it's remarkably tight just in how all the story structures work. Like, you know, we get the unveiling of the statue of Metro Man at the opening of this movie, and then that's the thing that like Megamind like bonds with Roxanne over in the next bit, like in the next act of the movie, and then he blows it up, and it's like a really funny beat right there, like where it's like, we better run.
Yeah, like I feel like that right there, that's like the break into Act 2.
Yes,
is him blowing that up, and then you could argue either you know, Megamind's reveal that he is Bernard, or the first fight between him and Titan is like the break into Act 3.
Yeah, I would say the break in Act 3 would be the fight with him and Titan, because he almost dies pretty closely.
Yeah, and then that's like it almost immediately followed up by him going to Roxanne's apartment, and then they go to like Metro Man's base and find Metro Man alive with his like 5 o'clock shadow and his insane jaw. He's got such an insane jaw in this movie. It's like the Crimson Chin. What a jawline.
I like that they kind of foreshadow the Metro Man becoming Music Man thing by like he has like tassels on his like gloves and boots, and it's very like country music star. Like he's got that element to him already. Like the design of his costume kind of looks like a sequined vest.
Yeah.
It's Elvis.
Yeah, absolutely.
And actually, speaking of the tassels, another small little detail, like when we get into the final battle, and like you have like Megamind is posing as Metro Man, Minion is posing as Megamind, and all that. But when quote unquote Metro Man shows up to fight Titan, he basically like aura farms and just like flexes, and then he goes full anime protagonist and just like flexes, and then like the tassels fly about, like so good. And just doing that one little moment, Titan's like, oh shit, I'm dead.
Yeah, the conclusion is also really strong. Like the reveal of Metro Man still being alive works really well. I love the Roxanne breakup scene, by the way. Like her, like the reveal of Metromine of Megamind while it like they're in the middle of the kiss is such like a brutal scene for her. Like just wonderful stuff in terms of like the character drama there. And then like Megamind like pretending to be Metro Man is such a thematic thing for the character. Like he's taking on the identity of the superhero at the end of this movie, using his machines and all that. I kind of wish his machines were a little bit more up to stuff with Titan. And he's like Titan, once he sees through the ruse, is able to like just like, you know, rip right through him. But you know, what are you gonna do?
I also will say like the use of his like his disguises are kind of like it comes in threes of like the first time he disguises himself is as the warden to escape. So it's like it's a very selfish, evil reason. Then he disguises himself as Bernard as like a selfish but going about it like trying to do good but in a selfish way. And finally disguising himself as Metro Man is like, this is a selfless act. This is him finally being the hero that he wants to be.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just noticing a very funny thing about the Titan misspelling in the Wikipedia article is that from the point where Hal takes the name Titan but misspells it as Titan, it is written out that way entirely,
Yep.
which I at no point realized.
I noticed that in the captions. I was like, I wonder if they actually do it in the captions. I turned the captions on. I was like, yep, they misspell it there too.
I just
That's
assumed
hilarious.
it was a one and done joke, but they do it the rest of the way. That's amazing.
Yep.
That makes me so happy. Yeah. But yeah, and again, like it's just like these really like these small effective pieces like throughout the movie, and then also having the callback to the invisible car, and like he's like I forgot where it was after you broke up
when
with
that
me and shattered
breakup
my heart.
happened and he walked away. I was like, is he just going to leave his car there? And then later on, there's the scene where I'm like, I guess he did just leave his car there.
Yeah, no, he just left his car because he was so sad.
I just assumed afterwards that like he like walked away, but he like got the car. Like that was just like the blocking of the scene. But no, he actually left the car.
He really forgot.
He actually left the car, and then it came back in a really brilliant way. Like him. And then he points out to me, he's
with
like,
really good fight choreography.
Yes, absolutely. Like he points out, it was like the thing about being a villain is like I get to like being a super villain is I learn from my mistakes, and like jumping through, and like it's like it's such a almost like a monster movie type situation of like when he pulls the car door off, but Megamind, and it's like, oh, he's not there, but Megamind is just holding on to the door like it's a monster movie,
which is so great because of the effect of the invisible car door. Like it looks so good right there.
Yeah, and the stupid little guy. Oh, it's like as soon as he sees him, just pushes the lockdown. He's like, "I'll be safe, right?"
And I will say that the end bit of choreography where he like dehydrates himself and then like falls down and then like hits the fountain and like rehydrates there.
Mm-hmm.
That bit
so fun.
Is very cool. I don't know how necessary it was from the scene standpoint, but it's very cool. And like it definitely like it's like Goku in his fight with Cell, like doing the instant transmission to be right behind Cell when he does the ultimate Kamehameha.
Yeah.
I love hearing this as someone who has not watched or read Dragon Ball.
Fair enough.
But however, I do have all of Dragon Ball the manga now, so I have no excuse.
Get to read
except time.
Time is a big excuse.
Yeah.
Time is my main excuse whenever it comes to reading anything.
But I just love that bit of the fight choreography where he dehydrates himself, rehydrates himself at point blank range, and gets the shot off to like depower Titan. And now I can't not say it Titan as in Titan, like as opposed to Titan.
Titan.
It's Titan.
Well, there's a little after credit scene where, because you completely forget that Bernard's still in the movie. And like the minions washing clothes, and all of a sudden Bernard just appears.
Well, and like earlier when they have the breakup and she's like walking in, just like garbage starts like rehydrating around her.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's like it's a joke that comes in threes. Like you see the garbage, you see him, and then and like this, like the third is just the stinger with Bernard of just like he pops out of the washroom. It's like, man, you really got to clean out your pockets before you throw your clothes in the wash, man. Never know what he's going to bring.
Yeah.
Or who.
And that's a really clever device as like a supervillain technique. It's very much like the Brainiac shrinking ray, but it is iconic to Megamind because it just creates these like tiny little blue cubes for everything he fires them at. And it's very cute that like they just get wet and they like pop back into whatever. Also a Dragon Ball Z reference. It's like Capsule Core. That.
Yeah, and also like earlier in the movie when he's like cleaning up the city, it's also him showing him. I was like, he's not fully reformed yet because he's doing a very half-assed job. He's not actually cleaning up the city. He's just dehydrating the trash so that it's out of the way.
Yep.
Right. Yes.
And then like yeah. So then whenever the breakup happens, it's like showing off. It's like, yeah, he hasn't quite fully made the change yet. He's on his way. Just he needs to make that final turn.
Yeah, but I mean, like seriously, fantastic stuff there. why don't we move on to talking about the context that this movie came out in? Because it's kind of interesting to think about it in terms of, I have a list here of like superhero stuff that came out the same year, but I'm kind of like regretting not getting other animated movies. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Well, let's see. This came out in what, 2010?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was the same year as Iron Man 2, and then we were still a year away from Thor and Captain America. We were in between the second and third Nolan Batman movies.
Right. And this is the same year as Scott Pilgrim.
That's right. Yeah. Same year as Scott Pilgrim. Yeah. And in terms of like animation, this was also the same year as Toy Story 3.
You see, perfect. That is the kind of info that I was like looking to reference here, at least somewhat, because it is interesting, like the context of where this movie comes out. You know, it's before the MCU has taken off, and you can kind of tell that is part of the DNA of this movie, because it defaults to like the most default superhero tropes that, like, once the MCU becomes dominant, would not be necessary at that point. You wouldn't be as broad as this movie is. You would be more of a specific MCU kind of parody.
Yeah, it's like, unlike Josie and the Pussycats, which is a perfect movie, Megamind actually came out at the exact right moment for the parody to work.
Right. The only thing is that superhero movies just hadn't exploded quite as much as they would ultimately.
Yeah.
But this movie is riding the wave, and
yeah,
and does so really effectively. I think it's a very good parody of superhero concepts.
Yes, absolutely. And like, in terms of like other, like outside of the MCU, this was also like, by this point we had gotten 2 Punisher movies. We had gotten like the full X-Men trilogy, and we had gotten X-Men Origins Wolverine. X-Men First Class was the following year, if I'm not mistaken. Like, we had already, of course, gotten the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. There was and I think, was it Amazing Spider-Man 2012?
Yeah, it was the same summer as Avengers.
Yes, yeah. So it's 2012. So we're still 2 years away from a Spider-Man reboot. It was like, it's riding the coattails of a very particular time of superhero movies, and right before superhero movies became an actual genuine like pop culture phenomenon.
Yeah, so perfectly timed in terms of getting out there and being available to everyone to watch as this thing became a juggernaut of material. In terms of being able to satirize the ultimate superhero genre that the medium became, it misses out on some of those things just because it couldn't have seen the material that hadn't come out yet. You know, it can't parody the Avengers when the Avengers hasn't come out yet. But I don't say that as a mark against this movie. I just say that as a mark in terms of like, you can see what time this movie was made.
Yeah, I do also think though that the movie like has aged very, very well and still works in 2025.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, we've said it many times. Like, this just has a really tight script in terms of storytelling, in terms of like joke per minute / joke per page, in terms of character arcs and character work. It like so many things on in this movie, like on every level, just plain work.
Yeah, no disagreement from me on that one.
Now you know why I wanted to talk about this movie.
I know, like, what? I just don't have more to say about it because I'm like, yeah, it was really good. It was really goddamn good. It very well did the Superman story and the inverse of the Superman story very well. Like, I appreciate both aspects of that. It does the job incredibly well. I know that I have to do a video on Metro Man at some point soon, and I probably can make an excuse for Megamind.
Yeah, like, and that too, like, Megamind is like, it's like, that's the question at the end of the movie now, is like, is Metro Man or Megamind the Superman? It's like, well, they both are. It's just that one like you said, like Megamind is like the inverse. Metro Man is the Superman story up to a point, because Superman wouldn't just give up. Superman wouldn't just see it all as going through the motions. And that's when you have the switch from, like, Metro Man is no longer the Superman analog in this movie. It's now Megamind, but Megamind has to work and put in the effort to be the Superman analog, to be the ultimate superhero.
Yeah. So before we get into wrapping up on our notes on this one, because I feel like we've said a lot of really fun things about this movie, but again, it kind of comes down to a summary of, it's pretty damn good. You should go see it if you haven't seen it. It's a very obvious parody of Superman. Like Metro Man is Superman, like on the surface, and then he fucks up in a way that Superman would never. But you could imagine that this version of a Superman analog would. And Megamind, capitalizes on that for a while, and then picks up the reins of being the hero, and is also an alien from another planet and doing the science hero thing, which I'm always a big fan of in our Superman archetypes. So is doing that really well. But I wanted to give everyone space to bring up a thing that they wanted to make sure we talked about this movie. So, Jmike, is there anything that we haven't talked about this movie that you wanted to make sure we brought up?
I'm trying to think. Not really. Like, my favorite parts are the constant misspelling of all the words in the movie. Like, it's just the joke just keeps going on, and like the more things they do, like with the captions on it, it's very obvious that they don't know what they're talking about. But it's just a really fun movie. Like, it has a staying power with how much work and effort went into this movie. So I think we talked about everything.
All right. JD, is there anything that you wanted to make sure that we hit that we haven't talked about?
The one other thing, because this is something I talk about a lot with movies, is run times. This movie is just like, it's a flat 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's very tight.
That makes me so happy. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I do love a good 3-hour movie, as long as it, has good pacing and is like, and I still enjoy myself the whole way through. But I also do love a good 90-minute movie, and this just it hits it right where I keep saying it. Like, it just works on every level for me. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's not trying to, be a contemporary masterpiece or whatever you want to call it. It's just trying to be a fun movie, and it succeeds on every level.
Yeah. So I'm curious. I said before, my favorite quote from this movie was, "Chicks don't dig bounce houses. They're into clowns."
Clowns.
Any other favorite moments or quotes that you guys wanted to reference?
Oh, I have. This is another one from Hal. It's like, there is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there is no Queen of England.
Yes.
and he just keeps going, but Roxy's just like, wait, hold on, what?
Yeah, the last one caught her off guard, and it's like, oh wait.
That one. And also there's like the exchange between Megamind and Roxanne when she finds the secret hideout, and he's like, how did she find my secret hideout? How did you find his secret hideout? Like, that one has been making the rounds on TikTok lately, and I'm very happy.
Excellent.
Oh man.
It's actually, you know what? It kind of reminds me of the episode of the Adam West Batman, when he has to be both Bruce Wayne and Batman on the phone.
Yes.
It's like, you got to go back and forth. Oh, yeah, I love that.
All right. It is such a fun movie. That's the biggest takeaway from this for me. I just keep on being like, this is so great. Like, and you know what? It's one I knew was going to be great. It's just amazing that it took me 15 years to finally watch it, I guess, is what gets me.
and honestly, I like, tell me if I'm wrong. You're going to watch this at least once a year now.
It's going to be in that ballpark, like maybe not once a year. I mean, probably a lot in the next like 2 years because I have a toddler, and I'm going to put this in that rotation of like movies that I'm like, yeah, no, that's good, because Netflix for some reason puts this in its like the kids profile. Megamind is like one of the top requested movies in that list, along with like My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and Peppa Pig. So like the age demographic seems like all over the place on that one.
I love how much Peppa Pig has been brought up.
I have watched a lot of Peppa Pig. You have no idea. I have a 2-year-old.
Where's the Bluey love, man?
I love Bluey too, but I will say that Grampy Rabbit is a great character on Peppa Pig and might be a Superman analog unto itself at some point.
Well,
he's just fantastic.
The Peppa. I just got to come back for the Peppa Pig episode, I guess.
Yeah. That'll do with my daughter when she's like old enough.
Yeah. Give it about 10 or 15 years.
Well, we'll see. But anyway, so like final thoughts on Megamind. Like if you had to sum this up to anyone who was not familiar with the movie, how would you describe it? You know, like would you say that this is a great parody, a great deconstruction, a love letter to superhero material? Like how would you describe it?
All three.
Yeah.
It's a deconstruction, it's a parody, it's and a love letter all rolled up into one. It's, you know, the super villain defeats the Superman of this world and realizes that he messed up and, you know, needs the superhero to sustain himself, and winds up becoming the superhero in the end. And which reminds me, right now, there was a comparison that I forgot to make, which I'm in the right group for this because we covered this particular comic, this trio, about 4 years ago.
Okay.
When I started the long haul, JLA Earth 2.
Yes, we did talk about that. And that was a scenario where evil always wins.
Yeah, like and like the idea of like when the crime syndicate go to, you know, the Justice League's Earth, Owlman figures out like, wait, no, we have to go back. This is not the world we can be in because evil always loses here. And that and I don't know what it was, but like that came to mind when we get to the scene, like after the whole, you know, like evil has won montage, and Megamind is just like in the mayor's office that he's taken over, and he's talking to the little like the little bird, the little plastic bird that dips,
right, yeah,
that dips its beak in water. He's just talking there of like I've realized I needed a hero to like to be there. Like it's like there's no use in being bad. There's no good to stop you. And I was like, Jailer Earth 2, what are you doing here?
Yeah, no, it succinctly illustrates the point that, like the same point being made, that good requires evil not to become complacent, and evil requires good not to likewise be able to run rampant and not have any fun.
Yeah. So what we're saying is that a nice double feature is Megamind and Justice League Crisis on Two Earths.
Yes. That would be a really good double feature, actually.
Yeah.
All right, crap. Nope. All right. I know what I know. Yep. I know what I want to watch after we get off this call now.
Well, before we completely wrap up, we do have some people we have to thank now. We have a Patreon for CPOV Media, which is the shows that are produced by Certain Point of View, which are my shows, which are Men of Steel and Another Pass, as well as all the stuff on the YouTube channel. So we have people to thank who have joined our Patreon at the executive producer level. If you want to support the show, you can be like these people and join at the higher paid tiers. But even if you just join at the free tiers, we are doing lots of bonus content. I'm doing 2 essays a week that are, one's a nerdy thing, one's a D&D thing, which means it's also a nerdy thing, but it's specifically a D&D thing. And that goes to the free tiers. We're doing previews for all of our episodes, doing tons of stuff is what I'm getting at. And so you could be like these people, or you could just come and join us and have a good time at a lower tier. But these are the people that we have to thank right now. And that is Micah McCaw, Carter Hallett, Sean Muir, Lee Gregor, Memento Young, Logan Crowley, Joe Mastropiero, Casey and Nancy Aiken, Adam Samter, and Keith Lettinen. You can be like these wonderful people and join our Patreon at patreon.com/CPOV media. It would be wonderful for you to come and join them. But otherwise, you can just be an awesome person like JD. JD, thank you so much for coming on this show, keeping your title as most appearances on Men of Steel.
You can't get rid of me. I do really, really quickly just want to say one last thing. This is not related to Megamind, but this is in relation to Superman. We are unfortunately recording this episode on the day that it was announced that Terrence Stamp, the wonderful actor who portrayed Zod in the Donner Superman films, and of course was in tons and tons of other great movies, he passed away today.
Yeah.
So just a shout out to Terrence Stamp. Rest in peace to a lovely man and a lovely actor who got to play around in the world of Superman.
Yeah, it was sad news. I mean, he lived a good long life. He was born in 1938, the same year that Superman came out.
Yeah.
But yes, sad news in that regard. JD, where can people find you and follow you?
I'm still out and about on Instagram and Twitter and Blue Sky and TikTok. I rarely ever post anything on TikTok. There's a really fun video I made with Transformers toys that I am really proud of on my TikTok if you want to check that out. I'm JD Martin on pretty much everywhere. There may be some underscores somewhere in there, but I'm easy to find. And also just real quick, in honor of Terrence Stamp, go watch the movie The Limey. I'm sure it's streaming somewhere. Go watch the movie The Limey. It's a weird little crime movie that everyone should check out.
Yeah. All right. People should check out The Limey. And yeah.
It's just a good movie. Like, look, every time I can fit a Steven Soderbergh thing into a conversation, I will. I will.
No, that's totally fair. And some Steven Soderbergh love is fully appreciated on this podcast.
Yeah, just wait. In like 5 months, you'll see me announce a Steven Soderbergh podcast. I won't, but I might.
But you might. Also appreciated, however, is Jmike Falsden, my co-host. Jmike, where can people find you and follow you? What have you got going on?
Oh my gosh, social media, it's so scary. I am currently mostly over at the Blue Sky at j5.bluesky.social, and I lurk on the Discord. I don't post very often, but I am there. Always in the shadows. But if you tag me, I'll stop in and say hi.
Yeah, you should definitely tag both Jmike and JD. Like they're both like wonderful respondents on the Discord server.
Yeah, I've been posting a little. I've been posting a little bit more lately. But you know, if you mention me, I'll pop in and say hi.
Yeah. The Discord server is a great place to come interact. There's a link in the show notes, but it is a great place to interact with all the hosts of the various CPOV shows. And that goes for the whole network, not just the CPOV media stuff that is produced by CPOV. Just be clear about that whole thing. So there's lots of great hosts with lots of great shows. Shows like Long Live the Legion, our sibling show, which is a recent addition to the podcast network. Long Live the Legion is Jim and Jay doing rundowns on Legion of Superheroes material. And at the point when this episode drops, our crossover will have already come out. In fact, it will be several weeks in the past at this point. So if you've been following this show, you know who Jim and Jay are because they were on this show and we were talking about the Legion. But you should go check that out. The Legion of Superheroes is a ton of fun and super important to the history of Superman. So a deep dive into the Legion of Superheroes is definitely worth it. So yeah, Long Live the Legion. You can find that everywhere you get your podcasts or at certainpov.com, just like this show, which you can find at certainpov.com. and yeah, tune in next time. Oh, wait, I didn't give any of my socials on this one, which I probably should. You can find me at Ksaken. You can find me on most social platforms at Ksaken, except for Instagram, where I'm holding on for dear life to my AIM screen name. That's Quetzalcoatl 5, Quetzalcoatl 5, because I was pretentious in high school.
The best username on Instagram, I must say.
Thank you very much. But that is also a Legion of Superheroes.
Almost as good as Yeah, and almost as good as the last social push I'll make. I work at a comic and hobby shop, everyone, called Geek Out in Burleson, Texas, as also Mansfield, Texas. If you ever want, if you're in the Central Texas area, come by and say hi to me. I will talk to you about comics, as long as it's not on the weekend. I don't work the weekends anymore, thankfully. But we're also all over the social medias as well. So yeah, come talk to me about comics.
Yeah. Do you want to just give that handle again, just in case anyone missed it earlier?
Yeah, I believe we are just at Geek Out or at Geek Out TX on. We're most active on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Our TikTok is getting a bit more a push, and we'll have. I would say probably by the time this episode drops, we'll have a bit more of a push due to a thing that I ordered, because I am the inventory manager. I ordered a thing, and once you see the thing on our TikTok, you'll understand why I'm so excited about it. So look out for that.
Is it a 6-foot statue?
No, I'll tell you off air, but
Okay.
I want the listeners to be surprised by it.
All right. Well, they should tune back into future episodes where you might come on and reveal what that surprise was. JD, you're always welcome back. Thank you so much for coming on. And everyone else, tune in next time. And we'll be talking about something. And I don't know what at the moment, because I don't have my calendar open at the moment.
Time is a lake.
Time is a lake. Anyway, until next time, stay super, man.
Men of Steel is a Certain POV production. Our hosts are Jmike Folsom and Case Aiken. The show is edited by Sophia Ricciardi. Our logo is by Chris Batista, and episode art is by Case Aiken. Our theme is by Geoff Moonen.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jim.
You're a fan of the Legion of Superheroes, right?
Yeah, I've been reading their adventures for decades.
Me too. It was tough at first with all the characters, but now I think I'm an expert.
It's not too hard to get into the Legion. And to make it even easier, we have a podcast called Long Live the Legion. We talk about different aspects of all its history to help you out.
So whether you're a new reader in the Legion Academy, or have your own flight ring, or anywhere in between, a Long Live the Legion podcast should be on your playlist.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.